everybody, how's it going? And welcome to my review of Thanksgiving. There it is. This is a new slasher film from director and co-writer Eli Roth, and it stars Patrick Dempsey, Gina Gershon, Addison Rae, a few other people, and it tells a story of an event that happens in Plymouth, Massachusetts during a Black Friday sale at like a sort of a Best Buy kind of a department store, where things go horribly wrong. Cut to a year later, and there's a group of young people and a few adults who are being picked off one by a killer who is out for revenge for something that happened in the said thing at the start. And there we go, we have ourselves a killer slasher movie where, yeah, people have to figure out who the killer is before their time is up, before their proverbial goose is cooked, if you will. There you go, it's a Thanksgiving thing. Anyway, man, I'm just going to come straight out. I loved this movie. This movie is so much fun. It is everything that you want from an over-the-top, balls-to-the-wall, gory, violent serial killer sort of a film. I am a massive fan of Eli Roth. Not completely his filmography, more so the guy himself. When Cabin Fever first came out, I loved the film. I loved it so much, I bought 2 copies of it. I got the Australian version and the American version simply because they both had different special features on them. And I just immersed myself in everything that he had done with this film. And he seemed like one of us. He seemed like, first and foremost, a film fan, you know, who got a green light to make a cool movie, and he did just that. And since then, like the Hostel films, I really, really loved the first 2, not the third one. From then on, I thought his career sort of... yeah, it went on a bit of a downhill slope. Things like Knock Knock and Death Wish and Green Inferno, I thought were a bit iffy. Okay, they were crap. But I really dug the Thanksgiving trailer that he did as part of Tarantino and Rodriguez's Grindhouse double. So this movie came from that. It was a fake trailer, which is now the 3rd film out of the fake trailers that has actually been turned into a proper feature film. So yeah, at the time the trailer I thought was amazing. And then when it was announced that this film was coming out, I kind of thought, look, you know, it could go either way. But I had high hopes, and my hopes were actually surpassed. For starters, look, the cast were great, you know, with the material given. They were every bit as good as you would expect from a film like this. The story was pretty good, but the thing that made this movie for me was the over-the-top violence and gory death scenes. They were hilariously funny. If you are the sort of person who gets amused by that sort of thing, i.e. a complete sicko. Yeah, I haven't laughed this hard in a horror film probably since last year's Violent Night, which was also a very over-the-top, ultra-gory sort of a film. But yeah, Thanksgiving gave me everything that I had hoped for. I liked the whole whodunit aspect. Look, realistically, it is the kind of film that we've seen it before. You know, it reminded me of the sort of late 90s, early 2000s kind of horror films, you know, like I Know What You Did Last Summer, some of the Scream sequels, Urban Legend, you know, movies like that. If you're into that kind of subgenre, you're going to flip over this film. I had kind of hoped that maybe this film was going to be more like an 80s sort of a slasher film, but it had elements of it in there. Like, there were some scenes that reminded me of other films. There's one scene where, no spoilers, there's a woman trying to escape a house, and it really reminded me of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. There were Friday the 13th nods, there were a lot of things like that, but that was the thing with the film, is that it was Eli Roth just, you know, in a toy box just playing and showing us something that was just a love letter to horror films, you know? It's not the sort of film you can really criticize. Like, you could say, oh yeah, I didn't like it because I've seen it before, but have you seen it on this sort of entertaining a level, you know? Have you laughed that hard in a film like this? Or you could say the performances were lackluster, but it's not the sort of movie that needs Oscar-winning performances or, you know, dialogue that's going to bring home an Academy Award or anything like that. Like, it's just a really fun film. I love the use of practical gore effects instead of a reliance on CG. And yeah, there was some dialogue that was hilariously funny, but yeah, like I said, the actual kills themselves and some of the other things that the killer does. There's one scene involving a cat, which I just thought was one of the best things I've seen in a horror film in years. And yeah, look, overall, it was just a really fun time at the movie. So if that sounds like the kind of movie that is going to appeal to you, then absolutely go and see this film. I cannot wait to see it again. I'm dying to watch it a second time. I'm absolutely going to be buying it on Blu-ray the day that it comes out. This is easily a day one purchase for me, and I'm going to be giving Thanksgiving an 8.5 out of 10. So there you go, that is what I thought of Thanksgiving. Thank you, Eli Roth, for making something that was just a dream come true for us gore fans. Like, yeah, it's good. I kind of hope to see, like, you know, him making some more really good films of this kind of genre, you know, like back to the old splatter films, because I think that's what the guy does best. But anyway, over to you guys. If you have seen Thanksgiving, I would love to know what you thought of it. Did you have as much fun as I did? Did you laugh as hard as I did? Yeah, because I had a smile on my face from start to finish with this thing. So by all means, drop me some comments, fire away down below, because I like to talk about movies and I would love to talk about movies with you. I'll catch you next time.
Click subscribe to stay up to date with all the latest movie reviews. Skynet will be taking over any day now, so what have you got to lose? Nyah.